I'm sitting here in the pits with Annette Summer, and Annette is known as the First Lady of Pro Street, or also has the nickname of Pink. And Annette, I want you to tell us how you got those nicknames.
Well, first time we went up to Gene Fulton's, my engine builder, in '91. We were building an engine, and he pretty much asked my husband, he said, if I build this engine, she's going to be able to drive it, right? And my husband said, if I didn't think she could drive it, we wouldn't be here. And so he finally got to see my car, and Gene Fulton named me Pink right off the bat, and it stuck, and that's what everybody calls me. And he's been my engine builder forever, and you know, I wouldn't be here today, and I wouldn't have done anything in racing without him, and Tommy Mauney and Shannon Jenkins and Ron Santuff for my shocks and struts and stuff. And you know, I've had a lot of help over the years, and you know, it's just stuck. Pink stuck. So
now, you don't get nicknames like that without having quite the resume that you have. Take us through some of your history of racing.
Well, we started out with a car that I got when I was 16 years old, and of course, first thing I started hopping it up myself, and then later on in life, you know, it was a fast street car back then, and so later on in life, we decided we wanted to do a pro street car, and so it took us 5 years to build the car, and we brought it out, and it had an automatic transmission in it, and back then automatics really sucked bad, so you know, 2 or 3 runs you were blowing them up and all this stuff. And so finally in '94, Tommy Mauney put a 4-link and a Linko in my first car, my back half car, and we went to Maple Grove, and the record was like a 812, and I'd never even really driven a Linko or a clutch ever in my life. And so we went to Maple Grove and took the record from an 812 to a 772, and I don't know if a record's ever been broke that bad or not in my life, but it was a pretty stellar deal. And so we won the championship in '94, and then they let in tube chassis cars when it was all back half cars, and so that I was behind the times, and I still did well. But then we built a second car, and I won '98 World Championship in that car and set the record, and won Racer of the Year and stuff like that. And then I kind of wanted to move up to Pro Mod, and so we were racing in Commerce, and this man come up and just hung around my pit all weekend, and I didn't know who the guy was. And so finally he called me the next week and said, I want to buy you a car. And at the time, my car was for sale, my Pro Street car. And so when he called me, I thought he said he wanted to buy my car. And I said, well, I got to fix the wheelie bars. I bent them. And he said, no, I want to buy you a car. So my first car in Pro Mod was a 1957 Chevy that I bought from Mike Castellano. And I ran that car for a while. And then he bought me a 63 Corvette from Vanishing Point, and it was a twin turbo car with like 4,000 horsepower. And back then that was unheard of in a Pro Mod car with a clutch, because we had no way to control the boosts and stuff like that. And it took us a while, but we finally, you know, did okay with that car. And then in 2010 I had to stop for health reasons because I had some major health problems, and I never thought I'd race again. So I sold everything. And then, you know, I started feeling better. And if I went to a race, I'd get depressed, you know, because it's what I've done my whole life. I told my husband, I said, I want to do this again. And so the opportunity came to buy Barney, and we jumped all over it, because this is my favorite car, my favorite Pro Mod car in the world is this one right here.
Now tell us about the significance of Barney.
Well, it's, put it this way, when this car pulled up at an IHRA event, everybody's like, oh, God. Because this car would wear him out. I mean, Tommy won a championship with it in '95. Shannon Jenkins, whose name is here, back when Tommy won the championship, Shannon handled the clutch forward and Tommy handled from the clutch back. And so they were a good team. They worked good together. And then the Parson brothers bought the car, and Shannon Jenkins drove it and won 2 IHRA championships with this car. And then it got sold to the Ledford family, and they ran it a little while, and then his son graduated college and went on and had to move for a job to work for NASA, and so the car's been sitting since '04, and everybody in the world's tried to buy this car, and they sold it to me because I told them what my plans were to do with the car, and they wanted to see this car go back to how it was in the original day. So I got the car, and everybody else got mad because I got the car, but I don't care.
Yeah. What's it mean to you that you get to pilot a car like this?
it is like I never thought in a million years I would own this car. Never in a million years. And I haven't piloted it yet. This single I'm going to be on in qualifying, that'll be the first time I let the clutch out on it. It's probably not going to qualify, but that's not what this is about. This car is about honoring Gene Fulton, Shannon Jenkins, and Tommy Mauney. And I believe in honoring people while they're still here on earth. You know, most of the time people get honored after they've passed away. And I wanted to do this and honor these people that helped me succeed in racing, to show my gratitude to them. I'm gonna start crying, but to show my gratitude to them, that I really appreciate everything they ever did for me to help me win championships, set records and stuff. So also I want to say something. This man that owns this IHRA, Daryl, I want to meet him and hug his neck, because this is like the vibe that I got when I ran IHRA back in the early 2000s and stuff in Pro Mod. Packed. This place is packed. You can't get another trailer in this place. And this is like the old days, and it makes me so happy to see this. And I just want to hug that guy's neck and shake his hand for doing what he did.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. I'm Kayla Zadel, and this is Beyond the Track.
Be crying.
Yeah, you're okay.